Okay.
Okay.
Friends, I will share that. Are you able to see that rapid miner tool screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So this is a rapid miner tool, and while starting, it will come like this, and we have to select a blank. The environment will be like this. So where to get this tool? How to get this tool? Simple. You go to the browser and just type rapid miner. This is the website rapidminer.com. Okay. I hope you are able to see that, right? So rapidminer.com, where we can download the routes. It's here, whether it gets started this or this one. You click any one of this, and it will take you for the products from the Rapid Miner. And which one you have to do? Rapid Miner Studio. Okay. And see, you have educational program. You apply for Rapid Miner educational license strictly for academic purposes. This license provides free access to Rapid Miner Studio and Rapid Miner. So what you have to do, we have to apply here. Okay, we have to apply this. We have to do that. Okay, to download Rapid Miner Studio under an education license, please fill out this form. Okay, right. So once you download Rapid Miner Studio, select the education options. Once if you download the Rapid Miner, then no, while installing it will ask educate. Then you have to don't give commercial. We have to give educational. Okay, so you have to fill here your email, enter your university email, choose your role, whether you are a student or professor or instructor or researcher, that you have to choose. Enter name of your university, name of your course, course number, course term, name of the professors, then download. Then it will download the particular tool. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So do that. Otherwise, if you want, actually now this is the new one they have added. Earlier, not what you used to do. You click here, you go there and you download it, and then while installing, it will ask all the information. But now they have asked us to apply, so you apply it, and you can able to use Rapid Miner Studio. See here, Rapid Miner Studio 9.8. If you are using Linux version, you can go for Linux. But I am using Windows, so I have already 64-bit that you can use. Okay, so this is a way to download this tool. So once you installed, let me know if you have any problem. I will give my mail ID. If you have any problem, let me know. You just write a mail. I will reply. Okay. Then once it is installed, the environment will be like this. Okay. Now you can see the window is. I used to divide this Rapid Miner window into 4 parts. The blank space, no, the white space in the center position. I used to call it as, this is called as a process area. Okay, what do you mean by process? Process is the flow of data. Okay, right. So we will give the data and you will apply these methods and then you will discover the patterns. So this is called as a process area because you are going to do the process. You are going to build the process. Okay, and what are the process which you are going to build here? That will be saved as a process. Okay, and then the left down you can see operators. This is very important area. Okay, how they have built this software, this tool, they have built all the functionality as a operator. If you want to read the data, there is an operator to read the data, and if you want to apply some machine learning algorithm, and each machine learning algorithm there is an operator. For example, you have discussed Bayesian, and if you want to apply the Bayesian, there is an operator for Bayesian. Okay, now what is your role here? You are not going to do programming here. You have to plug and play. You have to integrate the operators and you have to form the process. If you run the process, then it will produce the pattern. So it's very simple and easy. Okay, I will show you the demo so that you will get a clear picture. Don't worry about it. Right, let us see how to read a data in Rapid Miner. You can see that under the operator there is a search box. Okay, you can, if you know the name of the operator, you can directly type. For example, I know the operator read Excel. See here, immediately I am getting this read Excel operator, correct? Otherwise, if I am not knowing this simple, there is so many folder here: data access, blending, cleansing, modeling, scoring, validation, and so extensions. Okay, so data access is the folder where we can read and write the data, and we can do a lot of things. We can access the data from the cloud, so you have cloud storage and so on. But I want to read my data in Excel files. Under that you have read. So read. Here they are provided most of the operator to read any type of data. If your data are in CSV, use read CSV. If your data are in Excel, read Excel. And if your data are like somebody is maybe doing web mining, web analytics, then read URL. Okay, and read other type of data. Like SPSS is another tool. You have some data in SPSS format, then read SPSS statistics, and then this is ARFF is for Reka. And if you want to read any databases, yes, DBase, and so on. So we have provisions to read almost all type of data. Now let us use read Excel. So how to add in the process area? Two way, we can drag and drop here. Okay, we can drag and drop. This is the one way you can do. Otherwise, just you double click it. Automatically it will be added in the process area. Now see, this is the operator. Okay, I hope now it's visible. This is the operator, right? There is a port, input port and output port. Since it's a read Excel operator, it means you are going to read the data. No usage of this input port. You are going to use this data for some purpose. Now I have added this read Excel operator. Now you can see there is a yellow color explanation mark. It means the operator is not functioning as of now. Otherwise, there is an error. What is the error here? We have not given a path to read the data. Okay, so if you added the operator in the process area, then each operator has some parameters. We have to set some parameters for each operators, or you can say the property of that read the particular operator. So right hand side you can see, if you keep the cursor on the read Excel, immediately we will get the parameters which are related to this read Excel operator. What is the first one? Excel file. So you have to browse which file you want to read. So I would like to read, browse it, check. Let us say this is the one data set which I have changed, or I will go for another one. Okay, let it be. Now this is a read Excel, and this output port to be connected. There is a result port always. Okay, you have to connect with the result port. So what is the task here? Just how to read the data in rapid manner. I have used read Excel, and then I browse the data here. Okay, in the parameter window. Then I have connected. Then how to execute it? Under the menu bar, you can see there is a blue icon. Okay, this we have to execute. Press. Now you can see it's executing. Yeah, this is the output. This is the data. Okay, this is the data which is there in my Excel file. Now I am able to read age data. It's a numerical data. There are 50% age is given here. Okay, simple. So this is the way to read a data in rapid manner. I think it's clear. Okay, and if you want to, I will show you one more example. We have discussed about the cleansing. So read Excel. Now I'll change the data. I have one data called iris missing values. Iris data is a famous data. Many people knows this. Just run this process. Now you can see the iris is one of the important bioinformatic bioplant data. Here it has it has different family. Iris setosa, not dosa, setosa, versicolor, virginicium. Now there are four parameters: sepal length, sepal width, the petal length, and petal width. Based on this, we have to decide which belongs to which family of this. Okay, whether it belongs to Setosa or versicolor and Virginicea. Now, so the task is for classification actually. But what is the problem in this data set? Are you able to see that question mark here in many attributes in sepal length third row? You can see sepal length is missing. Even in petal length same third row it is missing. So there are many question marks. The question mark indicates it's incomplete data. It is nothing but incomplete data is nothing but the missing values. Okay. So how to if I am going to use the data as it is. Okay, I have read the data here. If I am going to use the data as it is for classification, it will not work. It will say try to remove the missing values and come back. Okay. So how to handle that? Simple. Type missing. Replace missing values. You try to explore other things. I will not cover everything. The other operators. Replace missing values. Now you can see there is no question mark at all. Are you able to find any question marks? No. All the question marks are replaced by some data. How it has happened? You have some property. You just keep your cursor on replace missing values. Are you going to fill all the attributes? Attribute filter type. All. If you want any single attribute, you can select it. No, I want to select, I want to replace only for sepal length, then you can do that by selecting single. Okay. I want to do all the attributes, then all. Then how you will replace? There are some methods to replace the missing value, but the general method is you take mean of it. What is a numerical variable? Okay, take mean of that particular attribute. Wherever you have missing values in that attribute, you replace it. Okay, so that's why it's called as average. There are many methods: minimum, maximum, and even you can fill some numerical values also. For example, I have select. I want as a user, I want to supply some value 10. Wherever there is a missing value, I want to supply values. So I have selected and then I run the process. Now you can see wherever we had a question marks, all the values got replaced by 10, which is supplied by the user. Okay. So this is the way to handle the missing values, data cleansing. This is nothing but a data cleansing. Okay. Now our objective is, so you know how to read the data in the RapidMiner, but now we are talking about supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So how to use this RapidMiner tool to build a supervised learning model? Okay, that you are going to discuss. Right? 1 minute. So now you know that how to read the data. So you go back to that topic which you discussed here. So what is the process here in the supervised learning? You have the data to be divided into training and testing. Am I right? So I'm going to use that cross validation to divide the data. I'm going to use the cross validation to divide my data. Okay. So how to do that? So I'll be using cross validation here. Type cross validation. right? We have data, and this is the cross validation operator. Now we have to supply this data to this cross validation. But here, before going to this cross validation, I want to take a problem now. Okay, what is the problem here? The use case is the bank manager is receiving a lot of applications on credit card. Okay, the bank manager is receiving a lot of applications on credit card, so he wants to sanction or cancel, approve or disapprove based on the performance of the particular customer. The customer may have already loans, so if he has paid, if he is paying the loan regularly, that is the EMI, okay, then you can say yes, this customer is not cheating the bank, he is a genuine customer. So if the customer is genuine, then the card may be given to him. So what he thought, he has some lot of data, and he has approached some machine learning expert, he has given the data. Now the machine learning expert has to build the model, okay, and then the model has to analyze the applicant by the customer, and it has to say whether the customer is genuine or not genuine. If the machine says genuine, then immediately the manager will approve the credit card. So I have one data set, I will show you that. Oh, what happened? Not this one, some confuse. Okay, right. Since I made some changes here, it's another. Yeah, this is a data set. This is the data. You can see here. Are you able to follow me? Are you able to follow me? Yes. Are you able to follow me? Yes. Okay. I am getting some reply. Okay. Thank you. So now, see, there are many attributes: refund, marital status, taxable income, and cheat. You know that today our life is running by EMI, right? So whether the person is refunding the EMI regularly or not. Yes means he is refunding regularly. And marital status, because you know that if he is married, he will be having more committed, and sometimes he may not be able to pay the EMI regularly. If he is a single, he may not be committed. And taxable income is another threshold, right? Whether less than 80K or greater than 80K. Based on that, we have an attribute called cheat. Okay, yes or no. Okay, whether the person will cheat or is a genuine customer or is not a genuine customer. Now tell me which attribute is a class label here. Anyone? In this data set, which attribute is a class label? Yes, please. No, master status is not a class label, madam. Yes, Lata madam said cheat. Deepti also said it's a cheat. Correct. Correct, madam. Cheat is the class label. Okay. So Cheat is the class label. Now go back. There is an operator called set role. You just pick this. Otherwise, instead of using this, I will tell you one shortcut method. Read Excel. Now you can see this is the parameter window for read Excel, right hand side. Earlier we have directly browse that file, okay, but instead of doing that, whenever you are trying to use supervised learning or you want to read the data properly, use import configuration wizard. Are you able to see that import configuration wizard? You click this. Now you read the data. Locate the data. This is the first window you will get. You are not going to make any changes here. Next. Format your columns. This is an important dialog box. Here you can do 4 things. Under each attribute there is a drop down list. You just click that. Okay. Change type, change role, rename column, exclude column. Change type, change role, rename column, and exclude column. What is exclude column? Sometimes the attribute may not be relevant. Okay. You can, it's look like data reduction. You can exclude the column. For example, the serial number may not be important, so I would like to exclude the column. Correct? Then what else you can do? Change type. If you want to change the type of the attribute, you can do that. Data type. Rename column. If you want to rename the column, cheat. For example, I want to make it as cheat label. Okay. So it's immediately changed.
Sir, change type is for normalization.
Change type is not for normalization, sir. If you want to change the type of the data, real or integers, see right hand side you can see, sir. It is here as of now it is polynomial. It is ticked. If you want to make it as a binomial, then you can change the binomial, sir. It's not normalization. Just changing the type of the data, but that you cannot do always because it will affect the entire process. So you have to do whenever it is required, sir. Then change role. Change role is important. Kindly note down. Whenever you build a supervised learning model, whether it is Python or RapidMiner, you have to say which attribute is a class label. Okay. Right, in Python you will do X and Y, then in X you will assign all the conditional attributes, and Y will make it as the label attribute. Correct? Same way here we are going to make it as use change role. If you just click this, you can see label, ID or weight. I am going to click label. It means I am informing the system that the cheat attribute is going to be the label. Okay. Then finish. Now you read the data once again. You see the difference. Now what happened? What is the difference? Cheat label comes first. So it means now you inform that cheat label is the class label. All are the conditional attributes. I repeat, import configuration wizard, locate the data. Those who have missed the flow, you can do that. Just I'm reading my data and finish. This is nothing but since data are in Excel, sheet number and the range you have to specify. There is no change here, so you can move to the next one. Format columns. Okay, here only we are going to click this. Which attribute you want to make it as a class label? You go to that attribute, click this drop down box, change role, and make it as label. Okay, just I'm repeating this process. Done. Okay, this is fine. So here you can see I want to move the design. I am clicking design. If I want to go to the result, I am clicking result. This is a way to move. Okay.
Sir, one doubt, sir. Venkatesan, sir.
Yes, yes, please, please.
Sir, why you prefer Rapid Miner, sir, rather than Python? Any idea, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, you can do the Python coding also here, sir.
Okay, okay. No, no, no. What I'm saying is, I didn't get experience in this Rapid Miner, so that's why I'm.
Yes, yes. I will be showing you that afternoon
Yeah.
also. I will be showing
Okay,
what is
okay.
the why I'm preferring. Yeah, it's good question. That the two things,
Yeah,
sir. One is most of the them are not good in programming.
yeah,
You can
yeah. Very.
correct.
Yeah, agree.
So in that case, they can use go for rapid manner, sir.
Yeah.
But when they are going to use their own approach, for that they
Mm-hmm.
have to do the coding.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
what they can do, they could do the coding in Python. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they can get the result. And for
Mm-hmm.
listing things, instead of using writing the code, they can use such a rapid manner tool and they can get the result, and then they can
Okay,
compare.
okay, okay.
Number one.
Oh,
Number two, you can integrate Python here. So
okay.
some process you can do in rapid miner.
Mm.
Only whatever it is required, you can write a code in Python. You can do that.
Okay,
Number three, you can integrate rapid miner with R also.
okay, okay. It's
And
very user friendly, no, sir? Rapid Miner.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
and you can integrate rapid miner with Reka also. So it provides the interface to connect with all the tools. So
Okay, okay.
whatever the part we want to do in the particular tool, you can do that, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Huh?
That's why.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So we have read Excel, data is read. Now what is the flow here? Cross validation. We have to divide the data into training and testing, right? So I am going to use cross validation. You type it. Cross validation. So the data is supplied here. Okay, so the data is there. Read Excel. Read Excel is supplied. Now, what is the difference are you seeing here? This operator is double line. It's not a single line operator. See, read Excel is a single line. Okay, it's look like a rectangle. But the cross validation, there is a double line here. If any operator is like this kind of presentation, then it's called as nested operator. That kind of operator is called as nested operator. So what it means, inside this operator we have to do some more operation. That is the meaning of it. So double click this. What you are able to see? What you are able to see? Tell me. Yes. Are you able to see the training window and testing window?
Yes, sir.
So what is the purpose of cross validation? It divides the data into training and testing. So you are able to see this training here and testing here. So the training data will be available in this port. You can see here. There is a port under the training window, right? So this port carries the training data, and under the testing there is a one TS. There is a one port in violet color. That is the testing data. So the data is divided into training and testing. How you can go back to that previous process? You can see here. There is a one blue icon, up arrow process. You click that. It will take you to the original design process area. Okay. Now you keep your cursor on the cross validation and see the property of the cross validation. The right hand side. What is there? Number of folds is there. Are you able to note there is a one parameter number of folds? 10. Sampling time is automatic. We have different method also. You can select. You can just explore later on. So as of now, I am selecting automatic, and number of fold is 10. If you want to increase the number of fold, you can do that, or if you want to decrease, you can do that. No issue. Okay, that is a class validation. So double click it. Now we have training and testing. So the data is divided into training, and the data is divided into testing. Now what is the next flow? So data, cross validation. You got training data, and you got testing data. Now what you have to do on the training data? You have to apply any machine learning algorithm or data science algorithm on this training data. You will get the model. Now I'll go back to the rapid miner. So you have discussed Bayesian, right? So I will use Bayesian. Just I'm typing Bayes. Similarly, I'm getting Navy Bayesian. drag and drop here, supply this training data, because the machine learning model should be built with the help of training data. So I am supplying this training data as the input to the Navy Bayesian. Now what is the port here? Model. So it means the model is built. This model to be connected to model. Up. Enter போட தனியா போட சொல்லு. அப்ப டெத் இருக்கு. தனியா போடுப்பா. இந்த கவர் வெளிய போடு. So there is a model. The model will be produced. So if you have training data, you have Bayesian on the training data. If you apply this Bayesian on the training data, you will get the model. Correct? Now see what are the model? It is in the left hand side, you will get it in the right hand side. That is a port and the model. Okay. Is it clear up to this? Now, what is the next step? So you add the data, you divide the data with the help of cross validation to training and testing. We applied machine learning algorithm on the training data. You got the model. Yes. Now what you have to do? You have to apply this model on the testing data. Correct? You have to apply this model on the testing data to see the performance, right? So go back and go to the operator search box, type apply model. Okay. So apply model. Now what is there? Model as the model. Model, just connect it. And we have testing data here. We are going to apply this testing data. We are going to just supply this testing data as the input to this model, and this model will give you the performance. So you have to know the performance. So performance for classification, because we are doing classification. Connect with the labels and then connect the performance. Okay, I repeat what I have done here. Under the training part, we have training data. So we have to apply any data science algorithm or machine learning algorithm here. So I have chosen Navy Bayesian. I supplied this training data as input to the Navy Bayesian, which produces the model. Now you got the model. Model is there and testing data is there. Now you have to test the model by using the testing data. So I have used another operator called apply model. Okay, where I have connected this model as one input and the testing data as another input, and it produces the label. The model will predict some label for testing data. Okay, by using the labels you have to check the performance. So I have added performance operator. I have connected to this label, and then I want to see the performance, so I connected. And then you press this up arrow. Now it's clear. There is no exclamation mark. If there is exclamation mark inside, you have done some mistake. It may not work. Now you connect the model. Run the process. Right? So this is your Bayesian model. There are two classes, class no and class. Okay. Now I have connected only model, but I want to connect what is the performance. Okay. Then I missed out. So I have connected now. Now I will run the process. Now you see the performance here. I hope those who knows already in supervised learning, that is in classification, the good measures is accuracy. You have to compute the accuracy of the model. So what is the accuracy of this model? 80%. Okay, this is the confusion matrix. Okay, how the accuracy is calculated? The accuracy is calculated with the help of the confusion matrix. True positive, true negative, false positive, false negative. That I will explain you later. First you understand this. How to implement a classification in RapidMiner. I will explain this later. Okay, as of now, understand this model produces 80% accuracy. Okay, 80% is the accuracy. Go back to the design. Click the class validation. You keep your cursor on performance. You can see here. I have started only accuracy. But there are various measures to evaluate the performance of the classifier. Accuracy, Classification error. What is classification error? Classification error is nothing but 1 minus accuracy. So if you are getting 80% is accuracy, then remaining 20% is the classification error. What do you mean by classification error? The model has classified the data wrongly, wrong classification. Okay, misclassification. That's called as classification error. And apart from that, there is the measures kappa, recall, precision, and so on. There are a lot of measures. You can just go through it. Okay, so this is the way the model to be built. Any doubt as of now? Any doubt for anybody? Are you able to follow me the flow? Mallikarjun sir, is it clear now? Okay. Then anybody has any doubt here? You are most welcome. How you get the output by Swapni? What output, madam? I go to the chat box. There are a lot of query. Can you use RapidMiner Studio for predicting the output instead of Python programming? Yes, madam, you can do that. Jagruti, you can use that. Swapni asks, after using the model, how to make the output visible? I will show you that. I'm going to show you that. Just a minute. The prediction output, I think you are asking. Swapni madam, are you asking the prediction output, right? Okay, I will show you that. Yeah, RapidMiner, they have their own code. So they do not show the own programmings. Now, I will show you the output. Now, what you have done here, you have built the model. Okay, you have built the model, and if you want to see the testing data, you can see the testing data here. And original data also, if you want to see that original data, you can see that. This is the original data you have. Okay. Now, so what I did here, just I have built the model. Now, let me open another data set. Are you able to see this Excel file? Hope you are able to see this. And now this is my testing data. I have 14 rows. I have 14 rows. Okay. Now see the data. Refund. This is a new applicant. I explained the case study. What is the case study? The manager wants to build a machine learning model to predict whether the customer is genuine or not. If the customer is genuine, he will like to issue the credit card. Okay, now there are a lot of applications. There are 14 applications received by the bank manager. So he wants to give this as the input to the model, and the model will say whether these people are genuine or not. Based on that, the manager is going to issue the card. Now you will see how to predict the cheat value for this 14 rows. Okay, so read Excel. Read Excel. Okay, and keep your cursor on read Excel. Use import configuration wizard. Now you can see there is no values for cheat. Please keep in mind that I want to predict. Okay, next. And here also you have to say which attribute is class label. So you can see under cheat there is a question mark which is unknown. So make this attribute as the label attribute, like how you are done for input. Finish. Okay. So data is read here. Now what I want to do, I have built the model. Model is here. I want to apply this model on this data. Okay. So I'll go for apply model. What is the input? One is the model. Okay. And this is the input. Okay. Now I want to see this label. And if you want to see the performance here itself, you can do that. Right? Simple. Model is built here. I am applying this model on the new data. Now run the process. Are you able to see the result output? Now what is the output here? What is the output here? See here, the 14 tuples. Now the manager wants to know which customers are genuine or not. So we have built a model, machine learning model, and manager has given that 14 application as the input. Now the model says it predicted. See here, first tuples, cheat is no. It means he is a genuine customer. Okay. Then second, no. Third, no. Fourth, no. Fifth. What about the fifth row? This guy may be cheating. So don't give the, don't sanction the credit card to him. How you got no and yes? So in this problem, you have two classes. One is cheat is equal to yes. Another one is cheat is equal to no. Okay. So you know that the Bayesian classification, how it works based on the probability. Correct? It works based on the probability. Okay. So in this case, for the no class, the conditional probability is 0.993. For S class, it is 0.007. Which one is maximum? No class is maximum. That's why the result is no. You take the fifth row. For the no class, the confidence is 0.49. For S class, it is 0.581. So which one is maximum? S class probability is maximum than no class. So that's why the prediction result is yes. I hope it is clear to you now. So this is the way to predict the unknown class list. Is it clear? Any doubt here? Any doubt? Is it clear, friends?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Right. So I hope now you are able to see that output, right? This is the way we have to predict by using the Navy Bayesian classification. Okay. Now I will show you. So just you have to save this process. How to do that? Go to the file, save process as. Now this repository has come. You can see local repository. Okay. So I can save here under the process. I can save IRTT, Bayesian classification, something like that. I can give any name. The process will be saved, and whenever you want, you can use it. Okay, right? Normally, you used to do the same process in the Python also, but there you have to write a code. There is a difference. Okay, this is the way to use Bayesian classification. Not only classification, this is a complete flow for all the prediction models, classification and regression. Okay, the same flow, only the method will change. Where it will change? Any idea? Where you have to change? I want to use decision tree instead of Bayesian. What I have to do? Yes, please. I have used Bayesian now. I have shown you the demo. What I want to do? I want to use decision tree. Where I have to make change? Which part? Mallikarjun sir says choose different model. That's what. Where I have to do that in rapid manner. Which place I have to do that? Select decision tree in model operator. Good. No, not the apply model. Mallikarjuna training. Good. Shiva also says training. Correct. Kalavani says testing model. No, it is in training. Good. Chittaranjan said I will change the Navy Bayesian operator exactly. Lata madam also says it's in training. Correct. Thank you. Thanks for your response. For others, I will show you here what you have to do, which part you have to use, which part you are doing the machine learning here. This flow you should not forget this flow. Data to be divided into class validation. Okay. Then you have training. Then you have a machine learning algorithm and then model. So where I am applying the machine learning algorithm? I am applying this machine learning algorithm in the training part. Correct? I am applying this machine learning algorithm in the training part. Okay. So here, this Navy Bayesian I can remove. And I want to use apply here where you can do, you can browse here directly decision tree. So here we can see decision tree. Then supply the training data and the process. No need to change any other process. See here, it's a prediction for a decision tree. Okay. So I have only changed the trend, but this accuracy is very poor, right? The accuracy is very poor. And I will use ID3. Like that you can choose random forest. But there are some classification algorithm, it's not one for categorical data, then you have to go for a particular model. Okay. So there are many things are there. Random forest you can check. It may take some time. See, this is a random forest, table view and flat view. And see, this is a prediction done by this. Okay. So this is the way we have to use the RapidMiner. Any doubt as of now? If there is any doubt as of now? Okay. Right. Thank you. Now we will discuss the performance. I am showing you here now. This one. What is this? The result. What is this? This is called as confusion matrix. Any idea about confusion matrix? Any idea about confusion matrix? This is the confusion matrix. Some said Chittaranjan says true positive, false positive, true negative, false negative. Thank you. Yeah, it is correct. So you can see the PPT now for a few minutes and then I will come back. So what is there? In the top corner you can see true positive, false negative, true positive and true negative. See what happens, you have training data, okay, you have built the model by using some algorithm on the training data. You applied some machine learning algorithm on the training data, you got the model. Now the model to be tested. So you are applying testing data. The testing data will have a class label. Keep in mind the testing data will have a class label with the values. Okay, then the model will predict. Okay, while testing data you will say the particular tuple, first tuple belongs to S class. But after the prediction it may say it is no class. Correct? So actually it is yes, but your model says no. Sometimes actually it is yes, your model also will say yes. Okay, so expected and actual. Okay, expected and actual. So the actual will be in row, class 1 and class 2. Actual will be in row, class 1 and class 2. What is expected will be in column, C1 and C2, same, class 1 and class 2. And you actually the tuple belongs to S class, and your model also predicted that it is S class. Then it is called as true positive. Okay, and actually the tuple belongs to S class, but your model says it is predicted that it belongs to no class, so false negative. Okay, then actually the tuples belongs to no class, C2, but your model says that it belongs to S class, so it's false positive. Actually the tuple belongs to no class, and your model also predicted that it is no class, that's false negative. Positive means yes, no means negative means no class. You keep in mind like that. Okay, so true positive, false negative, true positive, and true negative. Okay, so this is the given the next table. This is the table, the example which discussed for Bayesian classification of Bayes computer. Based on that, now you can see, so the classes, the row Bayes computer S is the actual, and Bayes computer no is also actual. In the column Bayes computer S is the expected, predicted, and the next column also it's a predicted. Bayes computer is equal to no. What is this 6954? Anyone can say? Anyone can explain? What is the meaning of 6954?
It is TP.
Huh?
True positive.
What is the meaning of it? Yes, it's true positive. What is the meaning of it? Could you please explain elaborately?
The actual value and the predicted value are the same.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. As I said, so actually that 69, in this case, there are 10,000 tuples. You can see among the 10,000 tuples, there are 6954 tuples belongs to S class actually, and your model also predicted. Okay, your model also predicted that it is S class, so it's a true positive. Okay, then what is the 46? Any other one? Any other professor? What is this 46 denotes? Anybody else? So that I assume that okay, you are understanding my concept. That's why I'm asking you. What is this 46? Yeah, Chitranjan says model S class, but not predicted no. Correct. So that 46 entry shows actually the tuples belongs to S class, but your model predicted that it is no class. So wrong prediction. What about this 412? 412 actually it belongs to no class, but our model predicts that it is S class. This is also wrong classification. Okay, false means wrong classification. True means correct classification. Okay, that's why the diagonals are correct. True positive means correctly predicted. True negative also correctly predicted. Now what about this 2588? 2588 is nothing but actually it belongs to no class, and your model also rightly classifies that it belongs to no class. That's called as true negative. Okay, so in this example, Bayes computer example, there are 1000 tuples. Among the 1000 tuples, okay, 6954 tuples belongs to S class and 2588 belongs to no class. So true positive is 6954 and true negative is 2588. How to find the accuracy? There is a formula, but the easy formula is adding the diagonals divided by total number of data. This diagonal, that is true positive plus true negative divided by total number of data. So it means 6954 plus 2588 divided by 10,000. Total number of data is 10,000. It will give you the accuracy. Okay, so the accuracy in this case is 95.411. That is the accuracy, right? And apart from that, you can do like this also. So accuracy is equal to sensitivity multiplied with positive, 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 divided by positive plus negative plus specificity multiplied with negative divided by positive plus negative. You can use this formula. Okay, what is sensitivity? Sensitivity is nothing but true positive divided by positive. It's nothing but true positive recognition rate. Sensitivity is used to compute the true positivity recognition rate. Okay. Now what is the specificity? It's a true negative recognition rate. True negative divided by negative. What is precision? Precision is nothing but true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. Okay, like that it goes on. Right? So this is nothing but the confusion matrix. So what is the use of this? Whenever you try to build any supervised learning model, okay, and if it is a classification under the supervised learning model, you need the confusion matrix. Okay, you need the confusion matrix to find what is accuracy, what is precision, what is recall. Okay, right? So for that, the confusion matrix is required. I hope it is clear. Is it clear? Okay. Now, how to do that in the rapid manner? Design part, go to the design part. Okay, I think it's clear now. Now I'll open a new process. Blank. Right. Then unsupervised learning. Coming to the unsupervised learning, I will explain the theory while explaining about the social network analysis in the afternoon. Okay, but how to do that k-means clustering in the rapid manner? It's very easy. Okay. So what you have to do? You have to read any data. You have to read any data. And before going to that, all this techniques, the data science or machine learning techniques will be there in the modeling portal operator. You can see under the operator. I hope you are able to see this modeling. There are 160 operators are there. You just click that. You can see predictive. Okay, predictive models. So all this classification or regression called as predictive models. Okay, so where you can see lazy and Bayesian and tree, where you have different type of tree, decision tree, and decision tree we have 3, ID3, C4.5 and CART. Okay, and so on. Then rules, then neural networks, logistic regression, supported machines. There are many. Okay, so you can use any one of the predictive model. Okay. Now what about the unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning, mostly the modeling we have predictive, and you can see there are many things: segmentation, associations. So association is nothing but comes under unsupervised learning, and clustering is another important component which comes under unsupervised learning. Okay. So here there is another name for clustering which is called as segmentation. I hope you know that. Okay, segmentation is another name for clustering. Okay, so here they are given the name as segmentation. So don't search for clustering. Then there you can see under the segmentation we have k-means. K-means is one of the mostly used technique, clustering technique. Okay, that you can use it, right? So I will show you how to apply this k-means clustering. So first I will use read Excel. Just any data I will try to read for understand purpose. Okay, this is my data, and k-means clustering simple. You just type k-means clustering. Okay. So what I did, I read the data. Listen, what is the difference here? Earlier, I used cross validation to divide the data into training and testing. Now, I am not doing that. Okay, I am not doing that. This is unsupervised learning, right? So clustering, you click, you keep your cursor on the clustering. The parameters you can see, K is fine, and maximum run is 10. Okay, so K, maybe I can change K is 3 now. I would like to change K is 3. 3 clusters. What do you mean by K means? K indicates the number of clusters. K indicates the number of clusters. So here the K is 3. Then run the process. Now we can see I have 3 clusters. Cluster 0, which has 18 items. There are probably in that age data there are 15 items. So cluster 0 has 18 items. Cluster 1 has 6 items. Cluster 2 has 26 items. So total number of items is 50. You can see folder view also. For each cluster, who are all the members? Cluster 0, these people are the members of the cluster 0. Then cluster 1. Then cluster 2. Okay. So 3 clusters you can see here also. This is a centroid table of the each clusters. I will explain the theory concept in the afternoon because time is going to be over now. Now I will change the K and you will see the result. I will change its K is 5 now. Now you can see 0 to 4. So there are 5 clusters. Okay, that's called, that's the way to implement clustering techniques in RapidMiner. Any doubt, any queries, participant? Any queries? Chittaranjan says, yeah, it's nice tool. Can you do some graph of result? Yes, you can do that. You have to explore. It is there. It is there. You explore this graph part. You can explore it. There is a plot. For each one you have. Okay. For other processes, you just select it and then do that. Only because we have only one attributes are here, age. So I cannot do much plot here. But if you have many attributes and if you want to know that the involvement of the attribute in the clustering, then you can have a clustering. But it is possible. Only doubt is whether we will be able to retain the steps of solving problem using RapidMiner. Pranjul, only doubt, sir, is whether you will be able to retain the steps of solving a problem using RapidMiner. What do you mean by that? You can save the process, no? You can save the process, and whenever you want, you can open and use it. No need to build the process again. Pranjal sir, I hope I am addressing your question. So what is the thing? No need to repeat the process. If you are building some model, you save it. And only thing is you have to supply the data. Data is going to be changed. Okay. And Jagruti says, please share this session recording. Okay. Anything else? If you have any doubt, if you have any queries. If you don't have any queries, I think, okay. Chitranja says, tell the integration of Python and RapidMiner in afternoon. Okay, sure, sir. Afternoon we will discuss. I will be explaining what is the agenda. I will tell you now, right now. You will be discussing first the integration of Python with the RapidMiner. Okay, that I will tell you. And connection of the Twitter, you can do the text analytics, and that part I will try to do that. And because in social network analysis, what you are trying to do, you must know how to connect the Twitter and all, correct? So you should know how to connect the Twitters. and how to extract some text processing I'll be showing, because in Twitter, in the social network analysis, you have to extract the text, unstructured data. That I will tell you. Then you are doing a project with the DST on social network analysis, how to apply machine learning model for social, finding the anomaly detection for social network. That I will explain. Okay, and yeah, we will have many things to discuss, no issues. Okay, right. So I think Murugan sir, shall I close this?
Yes.
We'll close this up.
2 o'clock we will start the session, sir, because after that we will have a yoga session.
Sir,
So
lunch,
2 to
sir.
3. Yeah, 1 to 2 lunch.
No, sir, I discussed biryani. I'm not getting biryani, sir.
We will get, sir. We will order. No problem.
Okay.
From Amur biryani, you will get. No problem.
Okay, sir. So thank you, participants.
Have your
Go
lunch.
to have lunch and come back. Thank you.
2 o'clock we will start, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All the participants are requested to join by 1:55. We will start by 2.
Okay, sir.